Okay, it's Board of Education. I do not do blind reactions. I saw this. I felt like you need to see it too. This is what's the title of the video? The title of the video is "Crapping All Over Flat Earther Lord Jamar Live on Godfrey's Podcast." So he's doing a review of his own appearance on Godfrey's Podcast. Now, Godfrey's Podcast is interesting. It's not something that I watch all the time. I watch it occasionally, but whenever I do watch it, I do realize that Godfrey is funny, but he's also annoyingly funny. Like, he says stuff that's annoying, and he doesn't know when to like end his jokes, sorta. But I like him. I like him a lot. I'm not. That's not me telling him that he's trash. But I do realize that he has too much respect for his elders, and that's probably something that he grew up with or whatever. And the other dude on the podcast, I forget his name, but he's about to explain it. He don't be agreeing. He don't just get along just to get along. He actually is smart, and he'll try to refute stuff, but he's also like me. If you're gonna be stupid and you're gonna fight me to remain stupid, I'm gonna fall back. So this is what he's doing. So the dude, I forget the dude's name, is probably on his channel. Professor Dave explains. So yeah, let's listen to this and tell me if this is a setup.
Hey everyone, many of you saw my recent reaction video where I drank whiskey while laughing at a rapping flat earther named Lord Jamar, who was proudly demonstrating his unparalleled stupidity on the podcast of a comedian named Godfrey. Well, that reaction video set off a chain of events that I'm very excited to share with you today, so grab some popcorn and enjoy. If you recall, Godfrey was the host, Lord Jamar was a guest, and then there was this third fellow. His name is Dante Nero, and after I posted my reaction video, he reached out to me by email. He told me that he's a big fan of the channel, and that the episode I reacted to was frustrating for him because he knew that Jamar had no idea what he was talking about, but he didn't have the tools necessary to combat his script in real time. He expressed interest in having me on Godfrey's show via Zoom to have a conversation with Lord Jamar. Now, upon hearing this request, I was immediately aware that if I agreed to do that, it would be a total shit show. I am intimately familiar with people like Lord Jamar. He's a delusional narcissist and complete douchebag whose entire identity revolves around his perceived intellectual superiority over the rest of humanity, despite being a willfully ignorant, clueless asshat. Basically, he's a flat earther. He is 100% impervious to even the most basic facts and logic, and he will not listen to a word I have to say, no matter how obviously correct I am. But when has that ever stopped me before? So I agreed to go on the show. Now, I will say that I went into this with the intention of remaining relatively cordial as long as possible, but Jamar began insulting me before I was even introduced, so I decided to just lace into him from the first moment. Even though my volume was dramatically lower than theirs, even though he was talking over me constantly, even though there was barely any attempt by Godfrey to moderate him so that I could get equal speaking time, I still took a big steamy dump all over him and made him look dumber than rocks in front of his own audience. So much so, in fact, that after less than 20 minutes of interacting, Jamar threatened to leave the studio if I wasn't cut out of the feed. And then, mere minutes after the live stream was posted to Godfrey's channel, it was pulled. Undoubtedly because Jamar told Godfrey to pull it, since he knew how unbelievably stupid he looked. But, my friends, you'd better believe I anticipated exactly this, so I recorded the Zoom session from my end. I knew that this exchange was going to be absolute gold, and I was not disappointed. With that context covered, enjoy this brief interaction with one of the dumbest people alive.
Wow. And that's before it even starts. So, pay attention. I'm not going to talk that much in this because he basically just bodies. Like, if this was a battle rap, right? And Lord Jamar was rapping against Professor Dave, this would be considered a body. A bad one.
There's not fire in a vacuum of space.
I want to say
like,
something.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
It's ridiculous.
And before we bring Professor Dave, here's my thing.
Man,
Let me
fuck Professor Dave
Go ahead.
before he even get here.
Here's
You know
what I'm
why?
saying. When it comes to hip hop, right? There's questions I have to ask because he spent his life studying being a part of hip hop. To take the people that have spent their lifetime understanding physics,
Oh my
science,
gosh.
all kinds of
That
things.
don't matter.
It is absurd. It would be the equivalency if I took
Oh,
an
my
internet
God,
dude.
that does not
and
matter.
let me finish. If I took an internet dude who got a couple of tracks and asked him about the history of hip hop, it's the same thing.
I'm glad he said that because that's happening a lot. I know I said I wasn't gonna stop a lot, but I thought that dude was gonna be on right away. Professor Dave was gonna be on right away. Listen, this is very true. Like, you can be an expert in something. And I know because I'm an expert in something, right? If you know, you know. I'm an expert. I spent the time. I have the education in something. And people still tell me their opinion and pass it off as fact in that very thing. And I'll be like, I don't go back and forth with them. I'm usually the person that's like, all right, you got it. You got it. If you're going to fail, you're going to fail. But if you are open to taking advice, then you should take advice. Lord Jamar is an example of a person that thinks that there's like so much conspiracy in the world that you can't trust anything. Is that what you believe? Is that because they tell you that? Because they tell you? And this is dangerous. So we're gonna pay attention to this video, Lord Jamar with Professor Dave, and I'm glad that Dante prefaced the conversation with that. Like, yo, if I'm an expert on something, then why would you go against what I'm telling you? I did the work. People that do the work actually do the work. And in hip hop, we gotta respect that. We have to respect that people have actually done the work. And just because you don't understand something does not mean that someone's conspiring against you to make you believe something. Because honestly, what does anyone gain from telling you the shape of the earth? I don't see anyone gaining anything from lying to you about that. So let's get into it.
It's one person.
But what about, you say scientists, right, that have been studying for a long time. But there are people who've been in these professions that have there to lie, just like medical apartheid against African Americans. There are trained doctors
when you
that
follow
have lied
the money,
to black people about health.
They're gonna say whatever the money tells them to
nobody
say.
is saying that didn't happen.
No scientist is
Nobody's
getting
saying that didn't
funded
happen.
if they do not say what the money wants them to say, sir.
Okay, that's conspiracy.
No, it's
That's
not. It's
fact.
real.
Yeah,
It's a fucking
but
fact.
you don't get to say
Science
that
is a
everything
religion
is that
now.
way. You don't
Science
get to say
is
that.
a religion. It is not,
Science is not
what
a
you
religion.
think it is. Oh, yes, it is.
Science
And
is
This is
people
great.
That is
worship
absurd.
at the altar of science.
Nobody's
and these
worship at the
people are
altar
your
of-
new fucking deacons and bishops, and you believe that they have the power.
Let's
They're
go.
closer to God
go.
than anybody else. No.
Dante set him up.
Hang on a second.
Dante set him up.
My whole disclaimer before we even start this bullshit,
so he set him up.
okay, is
The
that,
environment.
hang on, I issued a challenge, Godfrey,
I mean, he could break
to
it,
even
but he
come
don't
here to talk to Mr. Whoever,
Right.
scientist man,
Right.
that if he can present me a working model of a ball that water sticks to the outside of
rotating.
it. Yes, as it rotates, I'll gladly sit down and have a talk with him. He hasn't showed me such model. I can give you a model right now as we sit here.
Oh, is Dave around? Is he there?
He's on. I
Can he hear us?
A model right now.
I can hear you guys.
Hey, Dave! Hey, Dave.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Dave.
This
It's
is
Godfrey.
tough,
How
man.
are you?
My
I don't
concave
see
bowl.
you.
Doing good.
I'm gonna turn
You're
the
doing
camera
good?
on.
You guys see me?
My son asked me questions about how come people don't fall off the earth. if we're here and they're on the bottom and stuff like that. And I wasn't able to give him like complete answers.
Yeah, well, hey, how you doing?
I wasn't able to give him complete answers because I don't really understand physics and stuff like that. But I don't not trust it. Like I don't think it's something to be not trusted. I think that like, yo, I don't understand like why gravity does what it does, why a vacuum is a vacuum, why whatever. I don't understand all of the stuff. But I'm not gonna try to disprove it. Like that's what science is. You try to disprove something. But once you can't find the proof, then you move on, right? So the things that he found as proof aren't proof. Like they everything that he said could be disproven. And I don't understand why he fights back against the things that could be disproven.
First
What
time
does that
meeting
mean?
you.
Difference.
Science
good.
communicator.
Science communicator. Okay. Well, here you are. You do not believe in the flat Earth theories, and you are. I've been taught that the Earth has been round for a long time, and when the flat Earth thing came around, I said, okay, what's this about? And then I listened to some of the flat Earth stuff, and you know what? Some of the stuff made sense. I was like, that kind of makes sense. And then,
True.
when you hear about
Some of
what
the stuff
you've
makes sense.
always been learning about, well, that kind of makes sense. And then when I talked to, actually, Dave, when I talked to a fighter pilot, and then they go like 50,000 feet, way higher than commercial jet. I say, have you seen curvature? He goes, yeah, we see the curvature of the Earth. That's what he said. I was like,
I've seen multiple videos where they say no.
You talking about we're
it's
supposed to
straight.
take care of your
Everyone's lying.
video over a pilot who has thousands of hours.
We've
this
seen
is like
multiple pilots say
So,
that it's
so Dave,
flat.
so who's
Yes.
who's going to go first? Tell us, Dave, why you are against what he believes. How about that?
Yeah, Flat Earth is the dumbest hoax in human history. Jamar just watched some videos by Eric Dubé, who just spews a bunch of bullshit, memorized what he says, and repeats it and pretends to be intelligent. Instead, everything you say is so insanely stupid and can be disproven with, like, middle school level physics.
See,
Really?
All right. So I'm going to just say this before we keep going. He said, I came on and I was going to be civil. And then once he started going at me, then I turned up. Now, I don't know if he heard what Lord Jamar said, called him science man and all that stuff, but that wasn't civil. He is the dumbest hoax. It's absolutely asinine or whatever he said. He came in hot. So anything he gets after this, like you can't have a conversation, intellectual conversation with anyone about anything if you come in with insults right away. He didn't insult Lord Jamar right away, but he insulted his ideology, which don't work.
So, yeah, we can go ahead and you can
Let's
rattle off your
do it.
debate talking points.
Do you have
I'll
a
tell you how
working
you're
model
wrong.
of a ball that has water sticking to the outside of it? Can you show me a
Okay,
working model
wet
of that?
a tennis ball.
But, yes, wet.
It has
and
nothing to
that,
do
but
with
no.
anything.
That's
Like,
not
what do
water
you even-
sticking to
what
a
does that
ball.
even mean?
That's saturation of water on the
Okay,
ball.
so
I
let's
want you
do-
to show me where water sticks to the outside of a ball
Yeah.
as it spins. It doesn't go to the
Okay,
equator of the
so-
ball and
all right,
spin
buddy,
off.
I heard what you said. I
Show
heard
me
what you
a
said.
working
I'm not
model,
gonna talk
sir.
about it.
Hang on.
You said something very
Show
stupid. I'm
me
gonna
a
explain to
working
you how it's
model.
stupid.
Okay.
The reason that things stick to the Earth is because the Earth is extremely massive, so it generates a very large gravitational field. When water falls off of a ball, whatever ball you're talking about, to the Earth, it's because of the large gravitational field exerted by the Earth. So when you're talking about water sticking to a ball, your desired demonstration of gravity fails because gravity exists.
No,
Things
no,
fall
no.
to the ground.
There
because
is
of
density
gravity.
and buoyancy.
All right. So what Lord Jamar is asking for is a working model, something that you could show to exhibit something that resembles the Earth, like a globe, but with the same features as the Earth, with water inside of it. We're on Earth, so we live with the rules and the things that Earth has. So the working model would also have the same gravity that we experience. So that model wouldn't be able to exist. That's important to know.
See, sir, gravity is not some
Okay,
magical
density is
thing
not a
that
force.
makes things
Density is a
drop
scalar.
to the
Density is
ground.
not a force.
It depends
And
the
buoyancy
medium
only
that it
exists
is
where
in.
gravity
If I
exists.
drop something into this
Hey,
water,
kiddo, shut
depending
up.
on
Hold on,
how
hold on.
heavy
You
it
can't
is,
just-
No,
it's
it's
going
like
to
you can't
do it.
sink
You can't just
Wait,
talk
or
over it.
float.
Wait, I want you
Dumbass.
all to talk, but
Density
I want to
is
hear
not
both
First
of
of
you.
all, this guy came out real disrespectful, talk about the stupidest shit. Like if he was in
Yeah,
this
it's the
room, I'd be
stupid- Dude,
smacking
you
the
just
shit
said
out
that
of
it
him
doesn't
right now.
matter if
First
scientists
of all,
study science.
Okay.
It's all
I get that,
bullshit.
though.
You have
Right,
any idea how
sir?
offensive
You know
it
that,
is
right?
What you say to the
You know that,
entire
right?
human race, the entire body of scientific knowledge. Let me respond
I
to
get
the
that.
insanely stupid thing you said.
I want
Density
you to
and buoyancy,
respond
which
to-
you
to my-
memorized from an
let him
RTI
talk,
video.
Jay.
Okay, we're gonna
Let
talk
me
about what
respond to what you said.
pseudoscience
You
is.
wanna
Okay,
talk
Go ahead.
now?
Okay, go ahead,
You want me to
Dave.
respond?
Go ahead, Dave.
Density
ahead.
is not a force. It requires a force to produce an acceleration. Things accelerate towards the Earth. Density is a scalar. It's not a force. It can't make things move. Buoyancy, there's a buoyant force, but it has gravity in the equation.
It has
Buoyancy only
gravity.
exists when gravity exists.
gravity, the
So,
secret sauce,
here's the problem with your
gravity.
density bullshit. You think that things fall down because the air is less dense. The air is less dense above the object too. So why the fuck don't things fall up? Can you
Things
explain
do
that to me?
fall up, you fucking asshole.
what
Bubbles,
fall up?
bubbles
Nothing
go
falls
up, you
up.
stupid fuck. Fucking
goes
evaporation goes up, you dickhead. Like,
That's
what the
not
fuck are you
falling.
talking about?
That's
Like-
not a. That's because there's
it's
wind.
because it's lighter than the fucking density it's in.
Doesn't
Why?
a bubble?
How can
doesn't
a fly
doesn't
defy
a bubble
gravity?
fall?
I
Doesn't
do
How can a
appreciate
fucking tadpole defy
the
gravity? You
entertainment
fucking
aspect.
shithead.
Tadpole defy gravity? What
Tadpole.
the fuck
Yes.
are you talking
How does
about?
anything swim through? If gravity is holding down oceans that are tons of fucking
Yeah.
of fucking force, how does anything swim through the ocean? How do you fucking lift your
So-
your legs
so-
off the fucking
so
ground?
things can
you
exert
fucking
force.
cockbag.
Let him answer
you. Okay.
Muscles, birds have wings, right? You can exert
They have
force,
wings?
which allows you to accelerate. Right? Doesn't that make sense? If you jump or if you throw a ball, you're exerting force and you are counteracting gravity until that momentum runs out. You throw a ball, it goes up, and then it falls back down.
Speaking
Why do
of
things fall down?
Speaking of momentum, do things
No.
need
Not
energy?
Why do
speaking
things-
of
why do
you
things
changing
fall
the
down?
Subject, why don't things
This is a great thing, bro. Not answering the question is like a obvious. I don't understand. I don't understand. Let's move on to the next thing. How about this? No, like answer the question. This is bad. I'm not even gonna watch the whole thing again because you can, but this is bad.
fall
Why
up?
do- why
Why
do-
do things only fall down?
why do they-
The
You said, why
air
do
is
things
less dense
fall
above
up?
the
No,
ball.
why do
does
things
it
Why
fall
do things
down
fall
only? Why
down
don't they
only?
fall up? This is what he said, asking.
Again, light things will rise.
only with wind,
Dense.
which is a
No,
force.
it's not only with wind.
Things don't float. Nothing
Why
floats.
doesn't a ball fall up? The air
Because
above the ball
it is
less
dense.
than the ball.
Because it is dense.
Because what's that?
The air
ball
is more
is
dense than the
dense.
ball. Is
The-
that what you're saying
That
now?
don't even make sense. That's not even what
The
you're,
ball
what you're saying.
is dense. If it's in regular air, it will fall to the ground.
in
If
regular
it was
air.
in,
Why does
if
it
it
fall
was
up?
in,
Isn't
say
the air
a
above
gel,
the ball
if it was
example
in a gel, what
would
is
be
it?
maybe
What's the ball
smoke,
gonna do?
But
Okay, I
It's
don't
just
know
gonna
about what
stop
the fuck
there,
you're talking
right?
about the gel in
I
the
don't-
air.
I
Why
don't
doesn't
know.
a ball
It
fall
depends
up?
on the
air
medium.
is
Can't
less
ask
dense
Why
the
does it
than
question
fall
and then.
up? What does falling up have to do with anything? I don't
No,
understand.
because
what
you
you're
think
talking
that
about.
everything-
He
You
said
said
what?
there's no such thing as gravity.
You said there's
Why
no
is
such
there a
thing in
preferred
gravity.
direction of falling? Why do things fall down to the ground?
Because they're heavy. Because they have density. That's
Okay,
why.
what is heavy? What is weight? Do you even know what weight is?
Oh my.
What's weight? Tell me the definition of weight.
It's your fucking head on your fucking shoulders, you fat
Oh,
head
someone's
bitch.
getting a little sassy because he
Like,
doesn't know the answer to the
Bro,
question.
come on.
What
We're
does
not
weight
going to
mean?
sit here and talk about all these.
We're not going to sit here and define words that you don't
Yes,
know. that you're
define
trying to
words. We're talking about what's heavy and what's light.
use. Yeah, so what does fucking heavy mean, dumbass? You said the word heavy. What is heavy? What is weight? What is weight? What does that mean? You don't know the definitions of the words you're using.
Bro.
Should I define
Go ahead.
weight? How do
Tell
we
him-
define it?
Yeah,
Tell us
define
what weight is.
Here I go.
Look it up if you
A
want.
body's
Look it up on the
relative.
internet.
Hold, here we go. A body's relative mass or the quantity of matter contained by it, giving rise to a downward force, the heaven, and then of course the heaviness of a person or thing.
By virtue of its position in a gravitational field. Things have weight because gravity exists.
See, you say these things. These
You
are
tell me the
definitions.
definitions of words,
These are
and I
definitions
don't know
that
what to
are
say.
that are.
So that's a complex idea. But it's not that complex if you just stop and like try to learn more about it. Like it's not impossible. And I think I'm gonna end there. I didn't even get to the part where Godfrey was sort of like being bullied. I might make a part 2 or whatever, but it's insane how stupid Lord Jamar seems. But also it's not that it's not that difficult to understand why he thinks that way. He just hasn't studied enough. He just hasn't learned enough. And if you come from the like point of view where like everything is against you, or you know everything, then there's no need for you to learn, because you already feel like I'm gonna learn from someone that's gonna lie to me. And that's a horrible way to go about things. I'm personally very, very, very bored of education. And I don't understand, like, Lord Jamar is somebody's grandfather. I'm imagining. I don't know if he has kids or grandchildren, but I'm saying his age. Age-wise, he is old enough to be my father. And I have a 16-year-old. So he would have been able to teach someone that is teaching someone, which is scary to someone in education. It's scary to the world, and it needs to be stopped peacefully. It needs to be stopped. I'm not saying anything should happen to anybody. What I'm saying is, yo, bro, let's just go to part 2.